This is Beyond the Music.
And this is Charity Radcliffe. Thanks for listening, guys. We have a great show planned for you tonight. Very special guests on with me tonight. Frontman for the new rock band. You guys haven't even heard of it yet. Edgar Red is giving us a little exclusive sneak peek of what he has coming up. And what would you say, about a month or so?
Yeah, we're going to track in November, and
Cool.
Hopefully a couple months after that we'll have something rolling.
Nice. Well, we are talking with the front man himself, Matt Moore, and he is of Edgar Red. So he's going to tell us a little bit about what he's got coming up and his style of music, and more importantly, we're going to get to hear some of that music and what inspires it and how it comes about. So that's the most fun for me. And whatever you're out there doing tonight, we appreciate you listening to the show. It is a great night. Feels amazing out there, doesn't it?
That it does.
It's
fall has set in.
It has. Yeah, it's supposed to get kind of chilly this weekend. I think we're going to dip into like only highs in the 60s. So good songwriting music, or good songwriting like inspiration. I don't know, something about the fall weather always inspired me.
Very much so. We got a swamp next to our house, and fall time is perfect for going to the swamp.
A swamp?
Yeah.
I bet you hear all kinds of cool critters out there in the swamp.
There's a whole bunch of frogs.
I was going to say, lots of frogs everywhere. That's a cool sound, though, to me, to hear a bunch of frogs in the background. It's kind of creepy to some people.
Wait, do you have a soundboard? Any chance that there's some frogs
I
on?
wish I had. We need to get
Colin,
some
that's
frogs.
you back there.
Frogs. No frogs. Yeah. But there's something about like frogs in the background while you're writing music, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
That's crazy.
It'll set your atmosphere right, depending on what you're looking for.
There you go. All right, Matt Moore, you guys. As I promised, we're gonna quit being silly and let you know what he has coming up. And he is a very, very interesting guy. I talked to him during the break. He comes from a background of music. His family, a lot of people in his family were all musicians. And I'm really anxious to find out more about you and what inspires some of these tunes that I heard during sound check, and where you've been, more importantly. So we are. Do you want to kind of introduce a song? Is that the best way for you?
We'll kick it up. I've been around the block a little bit as far as like out of state goes. Not too much.
Are you from here? From Louisville?
Yeah. I was born in northern Kentucky and lived just on the outskirts my whole life. And yeah, ever since I graduated college, it was all about, trying to get out there, playing as much music as possible. This is one song that I took around with me no matter where I went. It's changed a little bit over time, but it's
the whole essence of it's kind of stayed the same.
Yeah, very much so. It's about a Dust Bowl farmer in the midst of a dry spell. So it's called Here Comes the Rain.
Nice. Well, Here Comes the Rain by Edgar Red here on 100.9 FM.
In the mouth of a ghost, I lost out my gold back at the crossroads, and I feel creeping in the sky, the weight of the world's heavy eyes, heavy eyes, heavy eyes. Comes another rain, gonna put up another day, gonna make it all okay, gonna show me the way. Here comes another rain, gonna put out another pain. Here comes the rain. No holds for hope that you lost. It's never worth what it costs. Well, maybe I can grace by that gun on that slim side. I'm the chosen one. I'm the chosen one. Here comes another rain, gonna put up another day, gonna make it all okay, gonna show me the way. Here comes another rain, gonna put out another thing. Here comes the rain. Oh, no, no, maybe two ways to go: live dry or give up the ghost. Well, I'll die, but I'd rather wash away, 'cause I'm a ghost of man I was on the day I was made. On the day I was made, God made. Here comes another rain, gonna put up another day, gonna make it all okay, gonna show me the way. Here comes another rain, gonna put out another thing. Here comes the rain.
Edgar Red here on 100.9 FM. That was incredible. Great job.
Thank you very much.
I can definitely see the grunge alternative rock influence. So
little alternative.
Did you grow up listening to Nirvana?
A little bit, not too often much actually. The roots were all about AC/DC and Metallica, and I don't really know how it like crossed over from there.
Really?
But yeah, whenever I started hearing that grunge sound, you know, like it started influencing me before I even knew it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I met Blind Melon,
yes.
my life changed.
Maybe that's
for good.
where I'm kind of like going back a little bit, because I love Blind Melon. I was a big fan too, and I was a big fan of Metallica. People are like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Fade to Black's one of my favorite songs." so they're just like, that's kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah, but
like what you like.
Blind Melon. I only recently, within the last couple of years, learned about him. But when I started digging deeper,
they had a song called "No Rain" too, right? Wasn't it?
No Rain, yes.
All I can say is that my life. Never mind. You said it. You said Blind Melon.
On a side note, I just met Charity tonight, and she told me she can sing. Now, if we're about to play some Blind Melon, I'll be all over that.
I can't. it's against station rules, they say. Right, Colin?
Well, shoot. I didn't know station rules now.
I just made it one. There you go. I'm going to write it on this little paper.
But yeah, just like following the lineage of Shannon Hoon's life, like I got really like interested. And my cousin Vernon Lee Moore, who I was telling you about, he was up from Southeast Kentucky at a gig of ours, just a little cover gig that we were doing upon a different name. And we played a Blind Melon song, and, you know, he came over to me after, and, you know, keep in mind that he's hillbilly, which is, you know, my roots. You know, he's like, was that Blind Melon band y'all were covering right there? You know, I was like, yeah. And he was like, it was so-and-so's nephew, this and that. And it, like, comes out we were, like, maritally related in a sense, which, like, meant the world to me, you know. So I was going to take what little grain of sand that I just captured and run with it, you know? Like,
right.
I'm related to Shannon Hoon, sort of. But,
like, down the line, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So, you know, whatever.
That's neat how, you know, the universe just conspires to make stuff happen, and same place, same time.
Somehow or another. But yeah, it was Charity, I was telling you about it. Vernon did actually, he was an older cousin of mine who's my father's first cousin. And he's the guy that I learned to start playing music from, period. Like, when I was 13, you know, he would come over and visit, and he would play out on the sunroom, and it was just some kind of spark that just made me.
So how old were you when he was like 13?
I was 13.
Oh, you were 13.
Yeah, sorry.
How old was he?
I was 13. He was about 40.
Oh, okay, so you really looked up to him, kind of like a father figure type. I mean,
very much so.
Yeah,
and he was my dad's best friend back in the day. But he was the blues guitar player that, you know, just the diamond in the rough, like the gem that no one ever found.
Just that raw, like unfiltered blues.
Very much so.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he was amazing, and he you know, he got me to start, and yeah, he was coming up for a gig, and he heard us play that song, and he was like, you know, that's that Blind Melon band, that was so and so's, you know. So, but it all worked out, like. But yeah, it was like a month or two later that he died. One of the songs I'm going to play, sorry I'm harping on this so much, but one of the songs I'm going to play.
No, I asked you to. I was like, it's very, you know, it's interesting. It's part of, I think it's an intricate part of, like you said, you started playing. He obviously was your inspiration, and then to just kind of run into him again. And, you know, so it was like signs to me. I'm all about some signs that you needed to keep playing and doing what you're doing. So it ties together perfectly into what Edgar Red's all about. So I'm curious to hear what this next song is. He did pass away, you said, how long ago?
Yeah, it was on Wednesday. It'll be 1 year ago.
Wow.
So, you know, but he wrote this song. It's called Poor Boy's Compromise. This was just something that we'd heard sitting in a field, him picking on it, you know, and he'd recorded everything he did. Somehow or another, and after he died, you know, we started digging back through some stuff, and, you know, we found this one, and my dad was like, you know, Matt, this is a song you might want to try, you know. So I gave it a try. I do it a little differently. I added a verse, you know, at the end of it too, but yeah, it's all about the you know, the poor boy's struggle to, you know, make it. A lot of the time, the poor boy is the one that has that genius idea, you know, and someone else will take it and run off with it. So it's just kind of his thing for that.
I get that. That happens to me every day at work. So no. All right, here's Matt Moore, frontman for Edgar Red, with the song "Poor Boy." Wait, I gotta say this right.
Poor Boys.
Poor
Compromise.
Boys. I should just say "Po Boys Compromise" here on 100.9 FM.
Give it a try anyway. She found singing time was Tune and Gene. The only epic that was in the kiss scene. He had to suck in to get a tune instead of blow. Well, I think of the southern new western flow that came out of sound they never heard before, with the best of the blues at the speed of rock and roll. Well, it's a lonesome ride, living 40 years out of town, with no young pretty girls sitting round by your compromise. Well, his mama died when he was young, raised his family from some seeds in the woods that his buddy bought him from the army, and he watched them grow. With the help of the climate and some local signs, modern day Colorado's indoor finest was cloned inside Kentucky over 35 years ago. Well, it's a lonesome ride, living 40 years out of town, with no young pretty girl sitting brown by your side. The books that don't get in rise, the rich boys step aside, just trying to get by on a poor boy's compromise. Living man in the hills of the Appalachian, but down home a rock and roll hit sensation. He wrote this song I'm singing for you today. It was a poor boy singing from a broken heart, died down the mountain where he got his start. Must have had a gig up in the sky that he had to play. Now, yeah, it's a lonesome ride, living 40 years out of town, with no young pretty girl sitting brown by your side. The folks that don't get in rise, rich boys step aside, just trying to get by on a poor boy's compromise. Just trying to get by on a poor boy's compromise.
Yes, that was really, really awesome. I wasn't expecting that. I was a little surprised.
It's a little difficult to do on this here acoustic guitar, but
Oh, don't give me that. You musicians, I'm telling you. No, that was incredible. And I really love the sound of your voice when you do that. It's like we talked about it being super raw, and I like the story, the background story behind your inspiration. So yeah, that was incredible. I'm gonna let you tune up
Charity.
tune up your guitar a little
Here,
bit.
I'll tune up my guitar. If you want to turn on Old Davy's microphone, that's my tour manager right there. He's
We
off
can
to the
introduce
side.
Dave. He's been the silent observer over there.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Good. Is this your first time on the radio?
This is actually my first time.
He was
on
like,
the radio.
no. I was like, yeah, you can hang out. Just turn the mic on. He's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I really had no reason to be on here, but thanks, man.
No, you're in the room. There's a mic in front of your face. There's no reason not
Why
to.
not?
So how long have you been tour manager?
Probably about
2013,
2 years.
man.
Oh, yeah, so 3 years now, or going on 4. Wow.
That was the first trip he took
Nice.
on with me anyway.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I lose track of time with these guys.
Where we go, Davey?
We went down south, and we played in a bunch of places across the south doing acoustic gigs and whatnot. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. Went down to Huntsville, Alabama, and a couple other different places.
Oh, what's Huntsville like? I bet you guys fit right in.
Yeah, the most interesting town I've ever.
I've had
Yeah.
some friends from Huntsville, and they loved it, and great stories, and just like the accent's amazing.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Davey
Yeah.
met someone in Huntsville.
Oh yeah. I met the bass player for the Alabama Shakes.
Did you really?
Yeah, they
You
were
still-
on a wedding party.
You still got his tie, don't you?
Yeah, they were on a wedding party,
Wow.
and yeah, I ended up with the bass player's tie, and he told me if I ever saw him again to give him back his tie,
Yeah.
and he would remember. So that I'm still waiting for that moment.
That's a
but,
pretty funny story. So yeah, be like, I got this tie from,
yeah.
just you may or may not know him. I don't know. That's pretty awesome. Are they from Alabama? I don't even know where they're from.
Yeah.
They are definitely.
I didn't know if that was their name or if they were
Yeah.
from there or what. You never know these days. But I saw them at Forecastle this past year.
Nice.
Rocked it out.
Oh yeah.
I
They're
was-
awesome.
Calling him ready
Yeah.
when you are, buddy.
So are we gonna get into another song or?
Oh. We can chit chat for a second if you want.
Are
to.
you sure? Okay. He was like, "Let me rest." I didn't know if you were getting ready for one
Oh no,
or
it's
what.
okay. I was just making sure I was tuned up for it.
On the radio, we have to be a little redundant sometimes, so you may hear me say the same thing over and over again. But that's just
Hey, you're
because-
listening to 100.9
What is
Crescent
it again?
Hill Radio.
What is it?
100.9 Crescent
David?
Hill Radio.
David, what is it?
100.9 Crescent Hill.
We should be recording this right now for a promo.
Please do.
But that's what you're listening to right now. And we have Edgar Red. Actually, we have frontman for the entire band, which is Edgar Red, Matt Moore, on tonight. And he's promoting. They're going to be in the studio. You said you guys are going to be hanging out at Goldsmith Studios coming up in November.
That we are. Yeah. We're going to be in Goldsmith Studios with Brian Cronin. Summer past one. He heard us playing some cover gigs. And, he let me also go on the point of my right-hand man is absent tonight. He had to work because, being a little short notice here. Mm-hmm. His name's Mac Kiefer, and, he's my lead guitar player. He's my
Well, I was going to say, we could
vocalist.
talk about the other members of the band, too. I mean, although they're not here tonight, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully, at some point, you guys will come back on with the full band. And
Most definitely. But, yeah, Mac is probably listening right about now. Hopefully, anyway. But, we're heavy on the harmonies. We love singing harmonies, vocals, and stuff like that.
with your voice, I mean, that will be incredible. I can't wait to hear
I
that.
appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. But, so there's Mac. He's my boy.
And you said he's on vocals and
Yeah, he's singing behind me most of the time.
electric guitar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, let me plug DGBG. I'm sure y'all like them.
DGBG.
They're just down the street, but Mac just picked up a new guitar from them, and it is slick. Oh,
Nice.
my goodness. It's a Reverend brand. But, yeah, so, well,
I think they're one of our sponsors. They may be one of our sponsors.
I hope so.
Yeah.
They're one of... I'm one of their sponsors now. Let's put it that way. I got
yeah.
their stickers, and I'm putting them everywhere, and I'm buying their stuff. These strings I got them from them just a little bit ago.
You were talking, you had an interesting story. You said that you had apparently you know a lot about guitars. I'm not even going to try and act like I do. But
just
you
dead.
said you had a pretty cool, is it a vintage guitar or?
That'd be this one I'm playing right now. Yeah.
What's
This
the name of
is,
it? I don't want to mess it up for any of you, people who know what it is, what's going on. But I'll let you.
It is a
introduce it.
Gibson SJ. Stands for Super Gumbo from 1956. It's out of tune right now, so I'm gonna fix that for a second.
Well, it looks pretty.
I swear. Yeah, we gotta get some better tuners on this. Well, we got my grandpa, whose name was Edgar. Grandpa on my father's side. He bought this guitar in 1956, and he'd already started raising his family, but he got this guitar. It was top of the line back then. He got a matching mandolin to go with it too. But he got this guitar to pick on, front porch and stuff like that. But he always wanted to play on the Grand Ole Opry stage, So my whole stick in this is like I'm trying to pick up where he left off, kind of thing, because I still have the guitar.
You're going to take the guitar. That's what I was going to say, to
Yeah.
the Grand Ole Opry.
And if there's one thing I can say about this guitar, like, other than the sound, and, granted, it needs a couple things. I need to put some better tuners on it, for one. Back when we were getting it fixed,
the spirit of the guitar.
we just did not have the money to put the best tuners on it, so we got the cheapest we could. But, aside from the sound of it, the smell of it in particular is something my dad always told me about. He said, this smell, it brings back so many memories to me that, every time I smell it, it's
Nostalgia.
overwhelming. And it's becoming overwhelming for me, too. Like, if I'm stressed out or something, I'll, like, make a little trip out to LaGrange, go to my parents' house, pull this guitar out, and just smell it. And it's just...
That's pretty neat. Which,
It's crazy.
As a non-musician, I am observant. I can tell when other musicians, you build a bond. That's a part. Your guitar becomes a part of you, and when you're singing and playing, I can see that And I'm sure it's tough. You can't just go out and get another guitar. You know, it's not like, what do you mean? Just go out and get another wife? I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Very much so.
But yeah, it is a beautiful guitar, and I wanted to make sure I incorporated that story in as well, because
Thank you.
Edgar Red, I'm sure, came from your father, Edgar, partially, right?
My grandfather, yes.
Your grandfather.
Yeah.
And then Red, is there a reason for that, or just go with it?
There is, other than the fact that I have a red beard, so apparently there's some Facebook people who can maybe tell that.
It's
All right.
Auburn, yes. Nice fall Auburn.
Thank you,
beard.
Charity. I appreciate that Auburn comment. But yeah, my grandpa on my mom's side, his nickname is Red.
Gotcha.
Bill Leger was his name.
Very nice.
But his nickname was Red, which made sense. And it rhymed, so that's cool.
It's a great name. It's a great band name. I'm always jealous when people come up with great band names, and I never thought of them. It took me like a year to try and come up with one, and then we end up just going with like a street sign, the Broad Run, which was the street that I drove down every day for practice, and I was just like, we're gonna name it Broad Run because I gotta always look for that street sign.
That's the thing. You can't go wrong with street signs,
You
though.
can't.
There's so many bands. I mean, goodness.
That's funny.
Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
You think they got that from a street sign?
How could they not? How could they not?
I don't know. Like, is it Elm Street or is it E Street? Yeah, that's hilarious.
Probably government housing, E Street. You know, that adds to the story, most definitely.
Who knows? We'll have to ask Bruce at some point. So, do you want to introduce another song for us?
Yeah, I think it's about that time.
It's about that time.
All right, this is simply a crazy dream that I had once upon a time. It's called Down.
Down?
Yeah.
All right. Here's based upon a crazy dream. This song's called Down. And what are we listening to, David? 100.9
100.9 FM. Crescent Hill Radio.
There you go.
In the dark, deep pit of night, when I thought the time was right, I decided to take a bite, gain my passage right. Before I even got back inside, I was falling through space and time, searching for my rhythm and rhyme. You know, I lost my mind. Oh, the heavens that's jingling on, who's hiding behind the tree? Oh, they're telling me there's gonna be a long way down, a long way down, a long way down, a long way down. My friends are burning an imperial flag, dressed in full swamp furs and rags. As I crept around the slag, I was a feathered hag. The fires of hell were burning bright on a red quarter roller coaster ride. And then the golden man told me goodbye, just wanted to cry. The robot alien ship in the sky, my spider legs reaching for my eyes. You're telling me with no surprise, a long way down, a long way down, a long way down, a long way down. dancing around my grave like candle flames. And some are trying to break through my skin, and some are searching to find their sin, and some are wearing a heinous grin. Oh, what a hell I'm in. Oh, the happy snatching green demon, who tells me I would never sin. Oh, she never should have been such a long way down, a long way down, a long way down, a long way down.
Edgar Red, Long Way Down here on 100.9 FM. Another good one.
It's a long way down.
So you're not talking about Hades all the way down there, are you? It wasn't like a nightmare.
Well, I did just start playing the God of War video games.
Did you?
And yes, they're very interesting. And in every one, you go to Hades like at least twice, sometimes 3 times.
That's funny. You
Always interesting.
I've got 3 boys. I know all about the video games. I actually loved Zelda like back in the day. So as their mom now, they think I'm super cool because they can play like the old retro Zelda, and I'm like all over it. And they're just like, "Why are you so excited to play this?" I'm like, "You have no idea who I was." But yeah, incredible song. And I was just kind of checking out your Facebook page too, which, by the way, if you love what you're hearing as much as we do here in the studio, please check them out. You can find him on Facebook, Edgar Red, right?
Yep, that's me.
Edgar at edgar.red. So, or you can just put in Edgar Red like I did and find him, give him a thumbs up, and you can stay in the loop with all the things that are coming up. So they have lots of exciting things coming up. The entire band, which we fortunately have Matt Moore here tonight, who's the front man for the entire band. They're going to be heading in the studio in November, Goatsmith Studios, to record with the one and only Mr. Brian Cronin, incredible producer, and you guys will not be disappointed for sure. Have you recorded there before, or is this your first album?
No, we've been there before just to check out the place, and that's we met Demi from the Villbillies, who's awesome dude.
He is a great guy.
And on that note too, Villbillies just released this new album a few days ago. It's great. We both got the chance to see it live, at least some of it.
I didn't realize that you were there. I said I was the merch girl.
I was sitting up top.
Oh, you were.
I was watching. I was learning a lot that night. I really was.
That was an incredible
Particularly, the music they had in between the sets. So there was, let's see, Discount Guns.
Whiskey Bent Valley Boys.
Yes, but Discount Guns went off the stage, and then this like old funk, a lot of like some chick singers, some male singers, just like really upbeat stuff. And I was watching from up top, and I could see almost every girl in that joint just wiggling at some point.
Everyone was wiggling. Yeah,
it was the perfect music to play while to pump your band up,
Right.
So I learned a lot that night.
I thought it was cool how diverse they had the opening acts too. I mean, you had Whiskey Bent Valley Boys. You had Bob Anonymous.
Yeah, Bob's another one of my boys.
Rocked it out. I don't think I'd heard him before live. I've seen him, his name in our database. I'm sure I've played a couple of his tunes, but
yeah, I don't know how much I can actually say about this like legally right now. But Bob and Edgar Red are about to go on the same label. Of funding, so we got the same guy, that's going to make it happen, make some stuff happen for us.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Here the local music scene is very tight knit, and if you know one person, you know another. And just wanted to give a shout out to Ricky Morse, who recommended you guys to me.
Ricky is my
tonight.
number one boy.
Huge props to Ricky and respect. He actually, I'd asked Ricky if he would come on and hang out with me, and he had an emergency come up and was unable, but very professionally shot me his recommendation, which I'm very, very excited that I got to meet you guys because you are incredible. So it's really tight-knit in that regard, I guess. You earn respect. It's not easy to gain the respect of some of the, the bigger local musicians, and they kind of had to, I guess, pave their way and let you pave your way too. But it's neat. I noticed that you played with Hot Iron Skillet, which I've heard a lot about.
Oh shoot, that was a long time ago.
Was it? Well, still, I mean, you made those connections, and you've played Hideaway Saloon, and looks like you've played Tap Room recently. Was that like last year?
It was a while ago. We just did a little acoustic stuff up there. But
have you been on? You were on Keep Louisville Live or Loud?
Yeah, not too long ago. I front a metal band as well called Little Did We Know. It's very much different from what you're hearing now. It's more of the grindcore, black metal, death metal kind of area.
So you got all kinds of projects going on, but yeah. So you've made connections. That's my point. And you, it looks like if you go to his Facebook page, you'll see all the stuff he's getting into. And I like your cool picture too. You got your boots, just like.
Dang it! I was hoping no one would see that.
That's a great picture. That's like a good promotional picture because
I was trying to back in the day. That whatever is on Facebook, yeah, that was kind of an introduction that needed some work, and so it's been a while since then. We've been building this though for like a year and a half. We've been just every time we turn around thinking about how to make the band right. Mm-hmm. It's taken us forever. I mean, we've been trying to forever, We've been through enough projects, and this is me and Mac included, and just, we've been through enough projects. We just want to do everything we can to make this one, a hard roll of the dice.
So you guys going to plan maybe a release after the album's recorded? Oh,
yeah. And, it's going to happen. Bigger than we expect, for sure, somehow or another. It might.
Can't say exactly when, but it's definitely going to happen.
It might put us, into the bank's hands as far as we're going to be in debt for a long time, but that's okay. You got to give it every chance you can.
You definitely do, and you're in good hands with Goldsmith. I mean, they'll make you sound incredible, and not that you don't. Anyway, I'm saying with what I'm hearing tonight. And a full band backing you, I mean, that's just going to be, it's going to be very, very exciting. So definitely keep me in the loop when you guys do decide to release, and I'll be there hanging out. A little bit from Edgar Red, and we're learning about Matt Moore, who is the frontman for Edgar Red here on Crescent Hill Radio. And also our silent observer back in there is David, tour manager. I'm going to make him talk. I'm just going to point. Every time I point to you, David, you're just going to say 100.9.
100.9
FM.
100.9 FM, Crescent Hill Radio.
There you go. That's what David's going to do tonight. He's not allowed to be a silent observer. All right, so back to some more music. We've got it's 10 after 9. We've got about 20 more minutes. So look at us just flying through the hour, and we've only gotten through how many songs? Was it 3?
Yeah. Cool. I think I got enough BS in me to last.
That's what I was saying. Like he said, is it just going to be you and I for an hour on and off? And I was like, yeah, Matt, it's just going to be you and I on and off. So, how about another tune?
Sounds good. All right, this one is a little older too. This one is it's called Unsung. Mm-hmm. So it's all about a life that just doesn't get played out as the full length of one might. Want one's life to play out,
Sounds scary, don't fall.
So this is it. So I die young. So is the path of a life left unsung. Best driven motive with a twist. Crosses off another from my list. Please go around here. There no bliss. I'll find death and daisies passing lands. So this is it. So I die young. So it's the path of a life left unsung. Die young, so it's the path of a life left unsung. So this is it, so I die young, so it's the path of a life left unsung. Time and out and I'm the one to blame. Shot a bullet into my brain. Don't forget that we were once untamed. You and I are the same, the same. You and I are the same, the same. You and I are the same, the same.
Yes, Edgar Red here on 100.9. I was just promoting you a little bit while you were singing that song, and I was just like, what
Thank you,
a
Charity.
voice. Seriously. Did you always know that you wanted to sing too, or did you just kind of, were you inspired to play first and then the singing came second?
Oh yeah, singing totally came second. When
Did
I
it?
was 13, I started playing guitar, and this was at the same trajectory as my right-hand man Mac and a couple other guys that we played with back then. And we started a little band, started playing some gigs. We were like an AC/DC cover band, almost, pretty much, with a few other exceptions. But none of us wanted to sing, and I don't know, it took a long time before I actually even started.
It's just your voice is so rich, and I hear all, like me, I just hear all your influence. Did you listen to Skinner at all? Obviously,
Yeah. Oh, totally. Ronnie Van Zant, rest in peace.
and Led Zeppelin. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm hearing all kinds of stuff in your sound, and it's really incredible to have just like the blend of everything. So it's fun for me to ask. I obviously sing, and that's it. So it's like, I was the kid that they told to shut up constantly, like stop singing. So I'm always curious with musicians who have these incredible voices, like if it was something innate, you were just like singing, and then you had to find the instrument to match, or if it was the other way around.
It definitely, was not an innate thing for me. And I know about innate nature. I also have a degree in psychology. Let me just...
Very nice.
I plug that.
Well, don't you judge me. I mean, I've learned all about.
Oh, no, that's
I've learned
how it
all
goes,
about like
though.
projection. I've taken a couple courses, and that's all I need, because
Yeah.
it's just like it will drive you crazy if you know too much. You
It
can't.
kind of will, yeah.
Yeah, you can't read people the way that when they don't know it. That's not a fun thing. So you have a degree in psychology, and you also substitute teach, right?
That I do, Charity.
That's pretty neat. You said you wanted to save your voice today. You have
I was
a bunch
trying
of kiddos.
to. I got a little sub job to be a social studies teacher for 6th grade at a school that I'm very familiar with, but I'm not so familiar with the 6th graders.
Right.
So, I walk in there, and everyone always has to. They freak out when they see a ponytail and a beard. They just freak out. They lose it. So I'm trying to, hold the fort down, and it just.
I can
They
imagine
just get so excited
just
over
kids,
it. I have to raise my
that's
voice.
what I was gonna say. Kids are just so blunt and so honest,
Yeah.
and that's the sweet thing. So they're probably
It was a little ironic, though, because I had a nice long planning period set at the end of the day. 6th grade, the teachers get a planning period. And as a substitute teacher, usually you don't have to do a dang thing during that planning period. You just have to sit there.
playing not to go crazy.
Yeah, so I just throw on some Blind Melon or some Jerry Reed or something like that, on my headphones, and then I just look at the wall, and I'm totally cool with that.
Well, that's
But-
fun because you get to be the nice guy. You get to be the cool guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But, they were short on staff today, so they sent me to the band room with 44 6th graders
How
playing
fun.
French horns and bassoons and tubas and snare drums and xylophones and flutes and everything you can imagine.
That's fun. What
And
I
I was
like
just
the way you
yelling
got
my-
their attention though. You creatively suggested a different way to play Jingle Bells, right?
I did. Yeah, I told him by the end of this day you are going to hate this song. And I made it very explicit and I made it very swift. But whenever I got up on that podium, I just started letting it rock. I was like, I'm not going to let my negative feelings hold me back from driving these kids to the limit, So every time they would get done with the run through, I would immediately garner their attention. And then I would say, all right, let's do it again. This way. We'll go through it. And then, after they'd done it a couple times, they were getting better. I'd say, all right, we're going to speed it up substantially. Horns ready. And they would all put them up. Everyone would stop talking, they put the horns up. And then I'll go, and a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Just they would be ripping it for a second, and then it would just all fall to hell.
But what better way to inspire kids to be like, you're going to play this song until you hate it. No.
That's going to be my method.
That's pretty awesome. So you do that, and you have a degree in psychology, apparently. From what university did you say?
U of L.
U of L?
Yeah.
Nice.
Ever since I got done with that, it's all about music, which is cool. So
You
that's how we started traveling. We as soon as I got out, I picked Davey up and we hit the road a couple times, and it was great.
So where all have you guys traveled? Where did you play?
Huntsville, Alabama, Knoxville, Tennessee, Nashville a couple times. We went to North Carolina once, to Raleigh. It was great.
What was your
So many
favorite?
cool bands.
Did you have a favorite state?
Absolute favorite? That was probably, Davey, let me see if you agree with me, but after all these times, Charleston, West Virginia.
Charleston was a really cool place.
We met a gypsy.
Wow.
Her actual name was
I can't. Even,
Valerie or something, but her gypsy name was Kitten.
Ah.
And I was playing up on stage, and Davey was doing the meet and greet kind of thing, which is very instrumental when you go out on the road. It's very
Right.
important to have one person on stage and one person off stage,
Why's that?
to talk to the people, to
Oh,
engage
gotcha.
them, because it's small environments, no one knows you, and if you're too busy on stage, you
You're gonna
you
lose
don't
their
get
attention.
that personal connection
Yeah.
sometimes. So Davey is talking to this woman, and she slips him a note after he's already engaged her with a bit of conversation. And he comes up while I'm playing, and he gives me the note, and he says, "Dude, read this." I'm like, okay. This is also the very first time we played out of town. Well, me anyway, like, that far. I never played 4 hours away. So we were all, and it was the first gig on the date, on the tour that we'd planned. So, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at any opportunity there was for anything, But I read this note, and it says something along these lines. Greetings. My name is Valerie. My Wiccan name is Kitten. I'm trying to travel to a different place. I don't know where, but I want to go somewhere else. You guys seem cool, and I would like to hop in the car with you and go wherever you're going to go. I don't know where that is.
Oh, wow.
But take me with you. Love, Kitten.
How do you respond to that?
Walk away.
That is exactly what we did. I said, Davey,
Run.
we can't take this woman with us. I do not care what you say.
Oh, no, I wasn't for it. I wasn't for it at all.
Now you say that.
Of course you're going to say that.
Yeah, you got to save some of my dignity.
His girlfriend's listening. No. That's pretty. I mean, you're going to find strange characters everywhere you go, but it's neat. I like to ask people who have toured outside of Louisville what they think about, other places, and then you come home and it just feels like home, and you hopefully aren't approached by Wiccan. I don't know. I mean, you
well, I'm
barge
normally
down the road.
cool with it, but I only got so many seats, and I got too many mouths to feed. So
Like this isn't Almost Famous.
We already had 3 guys in a Ford Escort.
that we did. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked out very well. A little stinky. All right, so that's West Virginia. No. Well, that's
no,
cool.
that's totally West Virginia. I love West Virginia around Charleston, but everywhere else is kind of.
I've heard really good things about North Carolina too, which I wouldn't. I wouldn't think that North Carolina was this really artsy, cool music scene place, but it is.
Raleigh in particular, yeah, very
Yeah.
much. Oh, great music scene.
Very nice. I'll have to head that way at some point. Well, we only have a few minutes left, and I want to try to get one more song in from you. Is that okay?
Yeah, we can do that.
So you want to introduce it and talk a little bit about it?
Sounds good. All right, this is the last one. It is a retelling, if you will, of the Greco-Roman myth of Icarus. So kind of in a modern day, retelling with a young boy standing at the top of a tree in an attempt to end his young life, maybe before he has the real understanding of like what life even is, So like this is his story on the way down.
So what's the name of it again?
Icarus.
Icarus. The very last song from Edgar Red. If you're just tuning in, thank you again for hanging out. Thanks for listening, and we hope you check them out on Facebook. They've got some stuff coming up. I'm sure you'll have probably a website here soon, right? Or we'll have a SoundCloud if you guys want to listen to that in about 24 hours for you. So if you missed any part of the show and you enjoy this song and you want to check out and support local music, we certainly appreciate it. And we'd love for you to support Edgar Red. Here he is with, say it one more time.
Icarus.
Icarus on 100.9.
Life is not what it's cracked up to be, says the child falling from the tree. All lies chase him hurling to the ground. For one moment mankind makes no sound. The SWAT team has now been called, and cameras catch it all, and everyone sees when all I needed was you to believe in me. gently blows his love a single kiss, flaps his arms and looks only around. He's too proud and afraid to look down. Doc explains it was from abuse, some sort of trauma in early youth. And everyone sees when all I needed was you to believe in me. Child knows that he is soon to die. Please hold out his blessings and goodbyes. He explains how dead the world can be. Life might leave as soon as it is free. Everyone stares amazed with so silent mouths agape, and everyone sees you, oh you, and everyone stares amazed with so silent mouths agape, and everyone sees you.
Mr. Matt Moore, you guys, of the brand new up and coming grunge alternative rock band Edgar Red. If you're just tuning in and you love that song, check them out on Facebook, Edgar Red. Stay posted. You guys usually post on, or I'm sure you will, since you're kind of brand new. You'll start once the record
whenever it gets rolling,
gets into full effect. They're going to be recording in November, and can't wait to hear that full sound from you guys. It was a pleasure meeting you, and thanks for coming on. Big shout out to Ricky Morse again for his recommendation.
Yes, thank you, Ricky. And thank you, Charity, for having me in here. I really appreciate it. It was great to meet you, too.
Nice meeting you guys. And what are you listening to, David?
100.9 FM Crescent Hill Radio.
There you go. I'm recording that for sure. All right, stay tuned. We've got Cal and Matt coming up with Louisville on Wax from 10 to 11 p.m. They're going to be spinning you some wax. And then coming up to next Monday, stay tuned with Gavin Castor. He's going to welcome guest Carrie Hall on Beyond the Music. You guys have a great night. And thanks again for coming in, guys. Can't wait to see what you get into.
You're very welcome.
Sorry. These guys right here.
Sorry about that.
I was thinking about cool catchphrases that I wanted to steal from another radio station.
Uh-huh.
Am I allowed to say? It's not explicit at all.
No, as long as it's not explicit, you're
okay. Spinning the wax for all you insomniacs.
That's a good one. Maybe Cal's listening on the way in.
I'm not going to say what radio station it's from because you're listening to 100.9 FM Crescent Hill
What are we
Radio.
listening to, David?
That is all that's important.
100.9 FM radio.
You got a great radio voice. You should start doing promos, too.
Hey,
all right.
You got me here.
I do, right? You never know. All right. Have a good night. We are out, and I'll see you in here on Saturday.
Take me down and break me in, pick me up to drop me again, 'cause I'm far, so far from innocence. Hands are tied and I'm They keep